Hey, Sped 634. This is your friendly instructor, DC Jacobs, coming back to you one more time for this hump day. Um, just can't believe that it was a week ago that I posted that announcement. But anyhow, the reason for this is that I'm coming through and I'm making some grades, right? Posting grades. I had a few questions from a few of you, and I just wanted to provide some clarity so that when you are reaching out to me seeking understanding, we can kind of help one another. I know that grades are a very touchy area, and so I want to be sure that I include something to help you, to help me, to help you. All right, so very first thing I want to do is, if you come here to week 1, I want to remind you all that every assignment that needs to be uploaded has a rubric. All right, so that's the very first thing that I want to share with you. I have not finished replying to or creating a grade response for each of you for your RTI papers, and so I would definitely like to start here. So you'll notice that the assignment prompt is here, right, with several guiding questions. I've had a lot of you ask, but can I just write the question and then response? Initially, I said that, that doesn't really feel like an academic paper per se. A lot of times with academic papers, you have different levels, etc., with headings, etc., right? But I did understand that it made it easier for most of you to get your thinking going by doing that. What I encourage most people to do is to include it in their first draft and then respond, delete the questions, and then find some way to connect your paper so that it's cohesive. People understand, the scope, etc., what you're presenting, purpose, etc. So that's that piece. However, if that's what you did, I will not be deducting points on that assignment. But what I really want to draw your attention to is, if you open up the rubric prior to you actually uploading that assignment, or for future assignments, you want to go through here and see that this particular rubric is set up in a way that you can see that there is a possibility of 4 points for the first area, all right, which has to do with you making sure that you have a strong opening statement, right? Does the writer consistently address the questions of the or topic, right, of each question with a clear sense of audience and purpose? All of these elements that are listed here and the descriptors or the expectations are here and provided for you to be able to make sure that you're hitting all the different parts to get full credit. But I want you to be sure that before you upload, that you kind of self-evaluate, okay? So that's very important. All right. Also, going back to week 1, there were questions about the curriculum-based measurements. I gave you guys a CBM manual for your review, but you need to make sure that on Sunday that you also provide the testing protocols or probes, those things that you created and you placed in front of the student. There should be student work samples that need to be uploaded. There is a expectation that you provide quality work by addressing each of these areas in your write-up. Okay, people were wondering whether or not it needed to be a specific page number. I'm not really interested in page number versus I'm looking at how well you respond to this. So please make sure that you do that. Sorry, that was my boss. All right, so please make sure you do that. You need to also support your instructional considerations or your next steps. You need to do that by including specific in-text citations that talks to or that speaks to where you get your ideas from. Okay, so if in math you decided that at the level that the students are performing, that touch math would be a great place to start, to give the students a tactile kind of, hands-on kind of approach to adding and subtracting if they're at that level. If you do want to do touch math, you just need to find a resource out there, that a study or something that speaks to using that sort of strategy and support your, that's actually the other way around, but it's going to support your claims that that's why you decided to use that. Okay. But I said it's backwards because normally what you do is you do the research first, and from the research that tells you what to do and not the other way around. But I do know that a lot of you already have experiences or have ideas of what you think would work best for the student, or for the child, but you need to basically find that information. Okay. So those are the things that I wanted to kind of point out to you. I also want to let you know that you're choosing one case study on the thread, which I think most of you guys did that, and I really appreciate that. But what I also wanted to call out is that you are not to cite that text inside of your post and expect to receive, full credit, because the actual assignment calls for you to do a little bit more than simply just reference the case study. Okay, the W text. I try to call out here in this announcement with the hump day last week that you must use other resources besides this text. The rubric offers no credit for using the case study book, right? So if you just simply stated or cited that in your response, that's the rationale for why you probably did not earn full credit there. Besides that announcement, I know that it's in the rubric, and I don't think I see the rubric here when you first upload. Let me see if I decided to put something in by creating a thread or response. It says read, okay, each one use from the text, use your background knowledge, etc. Yes, that may have been a point of confusion for a lot of you, but watch this. This is what I'll do. If you see the be sure to support your opinions, use information from the text, right? But then you cited the text because you were using information from there, that might have been a place of confusion. I said I was trying to find that, but I couldn't find the actual rubric. So let me go into the grade book. I'm looking through your lens, and so I'm not the student, I'm the teacher, and so I know that it was discussed, but I wanted to make sure that we have that. So let me go into your grade book. Where is your grade book? Is that course tools? And if I come down here to my grades, all right, so this is where you should be able to see your discussion rubric. There we go. So in the grade book, there's a rubric for everything. And so on your end, because I haven't graded myself on this, I don't know what it looks like on your end. Like, I don't know if I gave you 0.75 or whatever, is this highlighted or marked or something? I don't know what it looks like. But I do want you to understand that in order for you to earn full credit, you need to understand that everything needs to fall in this particular column, under or with all of these elements here. So posting content, the postings, etc. And one that basically says no citation. This text is not considered a citation. That's where it kind of calls that out. So if you use the Spinelli text, that's good. And across this is a continuum here that helps you to understand what the points are that you earn. So that's very important that you understand that component and you make the adjustments accordingly. Okay. For me, it's not about catching you. I do know that sometimes if I don't message things correctly, I feel that I'm to blame. But I do know that if anything else, I wanted to pull you guys here and get your focus that the description of what you must do is here. So the assignment prompt or the description is here, right, in your gradebook. The rubrics for each of the assignments that you're going to have is listed here as well. So let's look at, let me see, if you look at your curriculum-based measurement for math, which is this one coming up, due on February 16th, you need to understand that all completed CBMs were submitted. An EL student was identified and included. That's in that area. So what does that mean? So those are the probes, right? The things that you placed in front of the students. You upload that there. There is a comprehensive description of the students. Well, what does that look like? Did you have their age, their grades, their disability, right? The ethnic background, etc. If you don't do that, again, there is a continuum here of other things that, candidates do that will then get marked down. All right. So CBM is original. CBM is original and well put together. So this leads you to the whole notion of creating the CBM yourself and not just simply going out on the internet or looking in the extra materials or supplemental materials in your curriculum and just, saying, hey, there's a CBM. You want to make sure that you are creating it, which could, get its inspiration from the student's curriculum as far as specific assignments, etc., or items. But you don't want to just simply just copy off something that you found, that was already made. Okay. Because that doesn't look at the well put together, because even things that other people make may not be specific to what you need. All right. So this engaging and supporting students in learning, this is critical. This talks about how you plan to engage and support the students, being able to deconstruct the standards and the Common Core curriculum, etc. That's there. Of course, mechanics, organization, etc. is there. Notice it doesn't mention anything about the length. So I'm not looking for length, but how well does your paper stand up to this rubric is what I'm looking for. Notice it says multiple citations are included and are accurately documented in APA format. This speaks to the in-text citation, right? The citation includes course text and other sources and is in APA. So you see how this goes down a little bit, but this is multiple citations, right? If you just include the course text only, that's a 0.25. So if you really want to get a 1, you want to make sure that you're including as many resources or references as you can, that they are explicitly stated throughout the paper, right? And, you include a full reference list. So those are the kinds of things that I'll be looking for the curriculum-based measurement. All right. So I know that's a good 15 minutes of things, but again, I'm really looking to try to support you all to make sure you get full credit. Again, if there's anything that's lacking or that you're unclear about, help me to improve the course, so that it goes a lot better for each of you. And then, we can talk about deductions and what your thinking is and how, like I said, if I understand where the breakdown was, I don't mind reevaluating your work accordingly. Okay. And that's just my promise as we try to get better at this course. So anyway, if you have any further questions, please reach out to me. Always available. Thanks. Bye.